Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. I'm going to have a bit more structure to my channel, so at the start of each month, expect a things to look forward to in August for this month, with some details of exactly what's going on and why, but also more structure from week to week, so more regularly scheduled content for Theorycraft, gameplay, news, guides, information, all of that sort of jazz pertaining to Star Citizen, and that will be obviously scheduled from week to week, all that sort of jazz. But I digress. Let's talk about what's happening and coming out during August 2016 for Star Citizen. Patch 2.5. We already know that the Evocati have it in their hands, that patch 2.5, and it was described as pretty stable even before it went to the Evocati. We know the patch is intending to give us a couple of ships, the Reliant Core, which will be flight ready, and the Argo, which will be flight ready, but also Grimhex, which is a outlaw respawn asteroid base in the Yella asteroid field, adding a ton more gameplay and obvious player division sides, reason for conflict between actual PC players. This patch should hopefully go to a more public PTU early to mid-August, but expect a lot more gameplay, things to buy in-game, reasons to play than we've had before. GamesCom. So this is probably the most exciting thing for August, for me at least, for the Star Citizen, which will be the Star Citizen Gamescom presentation. Hosted by Chris Roberts, we're going to see what they've been working on since the last year's event, but also they're looking ahead at procedural planets that will be coming in on Star Citizen Alpha 2.7, and lots of other cool stuff during the presentation which they have yet to confirm. We'll have to tune in on August 19th, which will be done at 9 PM CEST or GMT +2. That's going to be live streamed via the Star Citizen Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/Star Citizen. But I expect to see some strong Squadron 42 and Star Marine gameplay or little teasers to be mixed in with the presentation, or general streams of the event that are also happening. They'll probably have some new sort of build. And yeah, with that in mind, the event is going to be at Gamescom in general as well. They're going to be there at Gamescom with a booth shaped like an Idris, with various streamers have come down. Twerk17, Captain Richard, Bad News Baron, DJ Knight. They're all there to play at the event, and they're going to be showcasing various bits and pieces of Star Citizen. They're likely to have the latest build of the game to show off as well. So check that out on twitch.tv Star Citizen. During the event, there's also going to be giveaways and all that sort of jazz too. And I believe that's between the 17th and 21st of August. But that big presentation, that's going to be something quite exciting. And we're probably expecting a ship sale during the Gamescom event as well. I expect a variety of limited ships like the 350R and the Super Hornet and Sabre, that sort of stuff, to go on sale, as well as a concept ship during the Gamescom event. Also, free flight. I very much expect they'll have a free flight week too, so if you haven't tried Star Citizen yet, or you've got a friend you want to get into it, you'll have to make an account, and you'll be able to almost certainly try out some of the latest ships, or a few ships in the verse, trying out some of the systems and mechanics for Star Citizen Alpha, but as well as a relatively polished combat system. New ships. So, we said that the Argo utility vessel, with 2 of its 3 modules, will be released with 2.5. It will also go on concept sale at the time. It is a utility ship for service on capital ships, was its original intended purpose. Idris owners will get them as part of their standard loadout. I think Javelin owners probably will as well. It's been suggested that that's the case, but not 100% confirmed. It's a snub-nose utility ship, so it's no way of travelling long distances without its parent ship, and it's not intended for combat, but it's going to be quite cool for emergent gameplay and for utility-esque features. New ship. So at Gamescom, they are going to unveil a new ship that will most likely also go on concept sale during Gamescom, but we can't say for certain exactly what it is. They have said it's going to be quite exciting. People have said it might be the Polaris Corvette. It could be many different ships. We don't know. But it might be the Terrapin as well. This ship is supposed to be a hard nut to crack, but we don't really know much about how it's evolved since its original design. It was shown on a whiteboard by accident in one of the UK's ATVs, and it showed it as being ready for sale. So it could be the Gamescom ship, or it might go on sale during August, or it might not. Time Warner Cable. So they've got a live Q&A about the tech that CIG uses on the 10th of August at noon Eastern Time. I will put a link to their Twitter because they've got more details of that event there. But they basically encourage fans to ask questions about some of the tech that CIG are using for their game Star Citizen, and I think it's worth jumping on and having a look and seeing what's discussed there, because it might be a bit different from some of the actual CIG shows, because it's basically going to be controlled by another company, so we'll have to see exactly what their format is, but I'm quite excited about that. There's also going to be a lot more on the new ATV and RTV format. The new season of ATV and RTV have started, Season 3, and they are really focusing on points each week. Each of the studios is showcased each week, and the ATV and RTV are both from that studio. It's a lot easier to digest the information that they give as well. It's around half an hour a show rather than like an hour, and we get to see some pretty cool stuff. They do show some pretty interesting things, so kind of try and watch it from week to week. It is a lot more enjoyable now, even if you don't have as much time to watch that sort of stuff. They have condensed it down a lot. We're likely to see a lot more on the procedural planet tech that they talked about recently in the PC Games article. Atmospheric flight as well. We saw some of those models last week, but they're likely to talk about them a lot more because it does look pretty cool. The new female model and the new male models, hopefully that will be put into the game very soon, but we're likely to see more of it at the very least within August. There's likely to be more weapons for ships and FPS that will go into the game, or at least we'll see. The Banu and Tavaran races are being worked on, so we might see a little more sneak peeks of them. And the Herald and Caterpillar ships, they're looking almost complete from what we've seen. I would expect to see a more fleshed out version of them during August, if not being added to the game or go on sale or anything like that. We are likely to see some more fleshed out Herald and Caterpillar. But other than that, and not 100% pertaining to Star Citizen, No Man's Sky is going to be released between the 9th and 12th of August. And it's going to be quite a fun-looking, simple discovery game with vivid, stylized graphics where you're flying around. Hopefully it will have the elements of Spore that I really wanted to see, which is crazy wildlife. It's going to be quite a casual, fun game. And the reason I've mentioned it is because for Star Citizen, it gives CIG a lot of information about what works and doesn't work for exploration, discovery in a huge universe and on planets. So that procedural tech they're using, all that sort of stuff. It's all important metrics that Star Citizen can use to improve their game. And also, I think, in general, No Man's Sky is going to be a game worthy of us to take a look at. Anyway, as we're drawing towards crunch time for the release of Squadron 42 Episode 1, as it's pegged for late 2016, and hopefully should still meet that target, I think this means that we're going to see a lot of mechanics and assets being polished and finished, and they're going to be ready for show, spoilers permitting, obviously. But there are loads more available artists and developers that will be able to work on the PU side of the game now that Squadron 42 is winding down in its development effectively, or some people might say it's cranking up because they're done crunch time, but when that crunch is done, when they've got that game gold. So with Star Citizen 2.5, 2.6 and 2.7 leading from extended gameplay to Star Marine to procedural planets, this means that we're going to have quite a busy quarter 4 for 2016 for Star Citizen, and I'm excited to see where it's all going to go. Anyway, guys, please tell me what you were most excited about in August for Star Citizen. Or has No Man's Sky really taken your attention? Are you going to GamesCom? Are you going to be attending all the events there? Because I think they are having meetups every night at the event there as well, which you can just attend. So I'll put all the links to that important information in the description as well. And as we know more, so I've just punched my keyboard there. As we know more, I'll link more in the description as well. It's a very exciting time, August. I hope we see a lot of cool stuff. Please get involved in the development of Star Citizen as well. If you do get access to the 2.5 PTU, make sure you submit bug reports. Make sure you contribute to see what bugs should be fixed quicker. It's all part of the development, and that's the exciting part of Star Citizen at this time. It's not a finished game, but our feedback influences the direction of this game, and for me, this development process is just as exciting as the full game. But anyway, take care, guys. Don't forget, if you comment on any of our Star Citizen videos during the month of August, you're in for a chance to win a Dragonfly. But also, if you comment on any of our No Man's Sky videos, you're in for a chance to win a copy of No Man's Sky. You take care, guys, and I will see you in the verse.